Okay, in today's video, we're going to go through an example problem for conservation of energy in pendulums, and we are going to determine, using conservation energy, the velocity of the pendulum as it swings through its equilibrium position after having been released from its displacement up at this point. So we're going to let the pendulum go. It's going to swing down, and we, based on the difference in height of the pendulum between here and here, we're going to determine the velocity of the pendulum. Now, before we do that, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Get all my excellent physics, chemistry, and math videos. You can subscribe, click on the notifications bell, comment, thumbs up, and share. And I've made a bunch of other videos for pendulums, simple harmonic motion, conservation of energy, which you can link to in the upper right-hand corner of this video. But let's get started with this problem. We have a pendulum, and the pendulum has a length of 1.25 meters, and the mass, the bob, has a mass of 0.45 kilograms. It's pulled back, so that change in height. In this video, we're going to use conservation and change in height is 1.15 meters. I'll show you what I mean by that. And we want to know what is the velocity of the pendulum as it swings through its equilibrium position right down there at the bottom, the lowest height. And that is what we mean by the change in the height from the position at equilibrium and to the position at its greatest displacement. Now, as I said, we're going to use conservation of energy because we know that at any point in the swing of the pendulum that the total mechanical energy is constant, and that the total mechanical energy can be found by adding the potential and the kinetic energy of the pendulum at any point in its swing. And that's what we call conservation excuse me, of energy. Okay, so we know through conservation of energy, because the pendulum is going to have a constant total mechanical energy, that the potential energy at the highest position, the greatest displacement, is calculated as mgh. We know that when it reaches its greatest displacement, that's not going to be moving, so its kinetic energy is 0 joules. And then as it swings down, that potential energy is converted to kinetic energy, so that when it swings through the equilibrium position, it has no potential energy, and now all of its energy is kinetic energy, which we can calculate as 1/2 mv squared. And then we know, because of conservation of energy, we said that the potential energy, the initial potential energy, plus the initial kinetic energy, this being the initial position right here, is going to be equal to the final potential energy plus the final kinetic energy, which we're defining the final position as right here. And we can use this statement for conservation of energy to determine the velocity. Now, we already said here that the kinetic energy at the initial position is 0, so we can mark that out as 0. And we know the potential energy final at the bottom is also going to be equal to 0, because all of the potential energy has been converted to kinetic energy, and it starts with no kinetic energy. So we can simplify our equations to say that the initial potential energy is going to be equal to the final kinetic energy. And we know that the potential energy is calculated as mgh, and the final kinetic energy is calculated as 1/2 mv squared. We have the two masses. It's the same mass, so we can cancel those masses, and that means we're left with that the g, the acceleration due to gravity, times the height, is equal to 1/2 the velocity squared. Okay, we're going to go to the next slide and complete this. We're trying to solve here for the velocity, of course. And now we have gh equals 1/2 velocity squared. Now we want to get rid of, there's a couple different ways you can do this from here, but I think the easiest thing to do is you have this 1/2 here. You're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2, so you get 2gh on the right-hand side, and then I switch this over to the other side, and 1/2 times 2 is 1, so we're just left with velocity squared. Now we want to get rid of the squared for the velocity, because we want to know just what is the velocity, not what is the velocity squared. So we're going to take the square root of both sides next, and that means that the velocity of the pendulum as it swings through its equilibrium position is going to be equal to the square root of 2 times g, the acceleration due to gravity, times h. Okay, that's how we're going to calculate. Now, we're going to do that in just a moment, of course, but remember here that we're given the length. You see here the length has nothing to do with the velocity. We're given the math has nothing to do with the velocity. All it really depends on is the height. And if you've done other things with conservation of energy and kinetic and potential energy, this doesn't matter if it's a pendulum. It just has a certain change in height And if the pendulum, the bob was like falling straight down or was sliding down a ramp or something like that, then final velocity would be the same because it only depends on the change in the height, really. Not really, but it only depends on the change in the height. So we can plug our values in. We get 2 is 2. G, we said, is 9.81 meters per second squared. That's the acceleration due to gravity at the surface of the Earth. And we said the change in height is 1.15 meters. And that means that that pendulum, when it swings from that maximum displacement through that change in height to the equilibrium position, it is going to have a velocity of 4.75 meters per second squared. Okay, so there you go. That was a quick example for conservation of energy and the velocity. And in one of the next videos, we will determine the velocity if we're just given the angle of displacement and not the change in height. Okay, that's a little bit more complicated, but it's also fun to do. So we'll see you there in that video. Thank you very much for watching. If you found it helpful, please do all the following 4 things. Subscribe to my channel, get all my excellent physics, chemistry, and math videos. Please leave me a comment for this video. I would love to know what you think of the videos. You can give me a thumbs up. Click on the notification bell so you don't miss anything from my channel, Step-by-Step Science. And then, of course, sharing is caring. Share this video with all of your friends. Show them just how much you care. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.